I told myself that I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. If I wanted to wear white powder, I'll just put it in my hand, dust it off, and just do it like this. My boyfriend that time used to mock me. My name is Josephine Kenichi. I am a wife. I'm a mom of one. I'm a makeup artist and content creator. I am an ambivert, which means I can be extroverted and I can be introverted. I swing towards either side conveniently, might I add. Before I found makeup, or should I say before makeup found me, I never knew that I would ever like makeup. I never even knew I would ever be a business person. I've always wanted to work in an office. As at 300 level, I didn't even know the basic thing about wearing makeup, down to white powder. If I wanted to wear white powder, I'll just put it in my hand, dust it off, and just do it like this. My boyfriend that time used to mock me like, I've never seen a girl that doesn't even know how to do the basic thing. Like, he says it so annoyingly, and it will just help me to wear it. So it was never my thing. And at 400 level, we were on strike first semester, and I didn't want to go home, of course. I wanted to just stay in school. Strike was indefinite. We didn't even know when they were going to call off the strike, if it was going to be called tomorrow. I didn't want a situation whereby I'll pack my load and go home, and then tomorrow they are telling us that the strike had been called off. It started like a joke. So I stumbled on this flyer where they were doing skill acquisition. I wanted to learn tailoring just because of whiling away time. But I just decided against it because I thought that tailoring was going to be very stressful and time consuming. So I settled for catering. Immediately after learning catering, that was like the fire that my body or my system needed to be ignited. I started thinking in the line of business. I started thinking in the line of just in case I needed a backup plan, what I could do. So I told myself that the thing that I could do was go into catering and decoration, just events generally. So I just asked myself, what do I need to be an events person? And the thing that came to my head was that catering that I've learned, bead making, and of course decoration. Immediately after school, I swung into action and I went to learn bead making. Of course, I didn't tell my parents about it because of the way their reception to my wanting to learn makeup was. Like, it came with a lot of opposition. I didn't want anybody to discourage me or start asking me, okay, the catering that you have learned, what have you used the idea for? What have you used the knowledge for, or something? So I didn't just want any of those. I just carried my money and went to pay for the beading class, and I learned beading, and that was it. Fast forward to NYSC. Of course, I already had my idea mapped out. It was catering, bead, and decoration. So it was easy for me to find my side naturally. When it was time for side, I just went to the decoration department. The first day came, I was very, very interested because it was like a new thing, something refreshing and all. Then came the second day. And then I think they told us to do pleating on the wall or so. You have to put clothes, then you start folding it and using thumbnail to push inside. After that day, when I was done, when I go home, I just couldn't hold up my thumb. It was stressful. It was something that I didn't like the experience, and I started second guessing myself. I told myself that I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. I went to my hostel that day. I knew also that I didn't want to just be in the hostel when I was not doing anything and just slide down or something. I wanted to be busy. Like, I have this busy person kind of mindset, right? So I just wanted to keep myself busy. And I was going to Mami Market to go and buy food one day. I saw this makeup class going on. I don't know the spirit or whatever that pushed me to the class. I made inquiries, how much was the class and stuff. I was told that for coppers, it was subsidized to 5,000 naira. That got me even interested. So the next day, I registered. Of course, we did not have to pay immediately. When our allowance came, they would deduct it from that. So it was convenient for me to just start off the class. So I started off the class. I didn't know anything they were teaching because as someone that did not even have the tiniest basis of makeup, I couldn't catch up, But I loved the fact that I was leaving my hostel. I was doing something. So I immersed myself everything, the whole thing. When we're done with camp, before we left camp, I bought some makeup things and I left. We're sent to our PPAs and life basically started. And that was where the nudge to go and learn makeup started. And I continued ignoring it. I ignored that nudge from that second month of NYC up until when we were passing out. That was when I finally gave in. Like, it just kept coming. I told myself that I wanted to learn on YouTube. I would come on YouTube and I did not understand anything. I just knew that I needed somebody to show me 1 plus 1. I could get 2 plus 2 by myself, but I needed somebody that would show me 1 plus 1. When we finally passed out from NYC, I used my last allowance to go and pay my makeup teacher. I just told her, take this money. I didn't know where the next money was going to come from. I didn't know how I was going to survive. I just knew that I had this burning to register for this class. And I gave her the money and I started the class. I think 2 days into my class, I was called to come and teach some other people's skill acquisition. So I was learning and I was teaching. The small money I was getting from learning, I was using to pay transport to my makeup class. Basically, that was how I started makeup. So when I tell people that makeup found me, I am not joking about it. Makeup actually found me. It was something that I never thought I would ever do in my widest imagination. And yeah, I am. I came back from NYSC, and you are coming out of NYSC, there was no job, there was nothing for anybody to do. So I came back and I just thought to myself, I couldn't come back home and be asking my father for 10 naira to buy so and so, or 20 naira to buy this one and that one. I needed to start sourcing for money for myself. So I looked inward, and the thing I had in my hands was my skills. So I quickly put that into good use. I started selling chin and pure water and mineral in my father's corridor. And then I pivoted gradually into the actual makeup that I love. Of course, everything came in handy, but the chin and the pure water was now like a side hustle. While after a while, makeup became the pillar of my business. One more question. Like I just said, I started with the hungry mindset. I was very hungry for wealth. I was hungry for a lot of things. So it was easy for me to start up with whatever it is I could afford then. There was no pride there. But if there was anything I would have changed, it would have first been my mindset. I started with a very small mindset. Like, it was survival for me. Anybody that was willing to pay me the money that I could use to buy 1 or 2 things, I would basically do the makeup for the person. But I also found out that aside the money, I was very, very passionate about this particular craft that I found myself, about this particular craft that life threw in my face. Like, I was becoming very, very passionate about it. Like, if somebody should call me in the midnight and say, come and wear me makeup, I would do it without needing you to pay me so much. So any money that anybody was willing to give to me, I was willing to get. I didn't have a big mindset. I just had a survival mindset and a giving back mindset. I would have changed my mindset to the fact that this was a business and I needed to treat it as such, and I needed to charge my worth, and I needed to put in my best and grow this as a business, not as a survival scheme. Aside from helping people do their makeup, aside from putting smile on people's faces, I necessarily needed to know that passion would not pay for my bills, and I needed to charge my worth, which is something I was not charging then. I was charging peanuts. I would have also needed the mindset that marketing was a thing, and I should have taken marketing very, very seriously, because I allowed although I was hungry, right? I was hungry for fame. I was hungry to create wealth for myself, to create a source of livelihood for myself. But at the same time, I I was shy to do a lot of things. I was shy to put myself out there. I was shy to pitch myself to people. I I just kept feeling that if what if I ask this person and the person says no? Like if I knew what I know now, eh, I would have asked regardless, because if there's one thing that I have come to find out, the highest thing that can happen is they will say no. And if they say no, you're not going to die. You're going to have to ask another person, another person. If you ask 100 persons for something, one person will say yes. And that yes would have made the other no's invalid. So I would have learned to market myself. I would have learned to pitch myself to people. I would have learned to put myself out there. I would have learned to know that no was not such a bad thing. It was necessary for growth. And I would have done my pitching with that confidence that the highest thing that they can do is say no. And if they say no, we'll move to the next one. Life continues. It's that easy. Poverty mindset is such a bad thing. No. If you are starting up in any business, in makeup as a person, you need to erase that poverty mindset. You are rich. Because when most of my friends say, come and let's go out, I always used to feel that, I needed one big amount of money to go out, and that was a luxury I could not afford, because I needed to scale my business. I needed to put every money I could get into my business. So if I was to go out to spend an unnecessary money, then I didn't want to go out. But for your business growth, you need to go out. You need to go out and meet people. You need to go out and share ideas with other people. You need to go out and compare things. You need to go out so that you can even know what your mates are doing, how they are upgrading themselves, how they are scaling themselves, how this other person can help you meet the other person. It is from discussion that you will get to find out that, okay, this is A is this, or the other one is that, and it's from discussion that you become top of mind in people's mind, right? So if you are meeting people and you're always telling them that, I'm a makeup artist, so in case you have a job and all that, it may not come immediately, but there will be one day that they will need your help. They will definitely call you. Maybe a day that people are in a room talking about this particular job that they are looking for so person to handle, and somebody that you have met before will say, I even met so and so person, let me call her if she's available. That would have set me up on a very high foot, but no, I did not go out. I would just get called up in this my space and refuse to go out. So if there was anything I would have changed, I would have still changed that fact. I would have gone out more. I would have put myself out more. I would have pitched more to people. Another thing I would have done different is take social media serious. I like social media. You will always find me on social media at different points in time of my life. One thing that told me was that I could come today and I would get serious, and then maybe I'm not seeing the result that I hoped in my head I should have seen. After like a month or two, I would just disappear again to come back next year with that, let us do this mindset. We must do this. That basically killed me, actually. So I think before you even start up a business, get to know your why. Why are you doing this thing? Why do you want to do this thing? Do you actually love it? Is it just a thing of survival for you? If you had another option, will you still choose this? Know your why. If you are able to find out your why, then discouragements will not stall you. Like things that are supposed to discourage you will not discourage you so much. You will fight against those. You will just triumph over those discouraging factors. I definitely now know that social media is very important. Also, if I knew what I know now, I would have taken accounting more seriously. I do not have any background in accounting, so all I just did for my business was any money I was making, I was putting it back. I was plowing it back into the business. and I did not know how to track my money. I did not know where this money was going to, or where that money was going to, or why this one was deducted or something. All I just knew was that I was getting some money for my business, and my business was growing, and that was all I was doing. But now that I know what I know, I would definitely have taken accounting seriously. Challenges. I think one of the challenges, like I've said before, would be not trying to learn the marketing aspect of my business, not trying to monetize my business enough that it could make me money, and I would stop struggling. I did not learn the marketing aspect of my business. I was just doing it basically for passion and for survival, which is something I now know, and I'm changing and all. Since I was not on social media, since I was not going out, since I was not pitching myself to people, since I was not being social and everything, it was difficult. It was difficult to get clients. It was difficult for people to get to find me in my space. It was difficult for people to even know my capacity as a person. I know I was doing some jobs, but I also knew that there were some people I could have done some free jobs for in order to put myself in a particular place. Sometimes it's good to do free jobs. It's like pitching. You can find a circle of people. Maybe that these people are wealthy and stuff, and they have a group of friends that are wealthy too. You can decide to take one friend from that circle, and do the person's makeup, and just make that a point of proclamation to other people that, okay, this is what you can do. I didn't have friends. I didn't know where to find those kind of persons. I didn't go out to find those kind of persons. So out there expect people to come and find me. It was difficult for people to find me. I was not on social media safe. Like, I was not active. Who could have told my story? So yeah, those were my challenges. What my biggest challenge was not putting myself out there enough, not going out, it was a big challenge for me, because it was a stunting factor for my growth in this industry, and I would certainly have done it different. Then that also brings me to my pricing. Pricing was a big challenge for me. Let's just say that when I started, I was not collecting my worth, or I was collecting what I felt was my worth then. So when it was time for me to upgrade, or like when I started growing in mindset and telling myself that, okay, this money you are collecting or charging people was just too small for the kind of service you render, it was now difficult to increase my price, because some persons that started with you just feel like you should leave your price at this stage. So when you tell them that, oh, this is now your charge, it is now difficult for them to follow that charge. They are willing to pay other persons that same amount of money, or more than that amount of money, or times 2 or times 3 of that amount of money that you are charging. But it is always going to be difficult for them to pay you, which brings me to what I would say, that when you're growing in business, when you're scaling and all, it's not all persons that started with you that are going to go with you. You're going to make room for losing people and gaining new persons, people that now know you for a different, like, now know you for this charge, now know you for this word and all, and losing those persons that saw you at this stage, right, and have refused to see you as somebody that has grown higher. Then not upgrading sooner. I wish I had upgraded sooner. I just kept playing low. I kept playing small. I kept feeling like there was always going to be time, and this place I needed to grow in it. I'm not saying that you should charge higher than the value that you are giving to your customer. You should charge your worth, but over deliver. You get, over deliver on whatever it is you're promising. If you're promising that your clients are going to get a seamless service from you, when they come, they should get that and more. They should get convenience, they should get a long lasting makeup, they should get everything else from you. A conducive environment, a friendly person. Some persons come to do makeup and they just want to unwind and chat with you, or unwind and talk about their problems. They want to pour out their minds. There are a lot of things that can be bothering people, and it is during that makeup session that they find time to purge themselves of all those things that have been bothering them. And you should just provide that conducive environment, that listening here, that they can talk to you about these things. A memorable experience. Okay, that would be when one of my friends one of my friends told her friend that, because this her friend was doing her birthday, so she told her that, okay, our friend was into makeup, so she could do your makeup, contact her for your makeup. And then she contacted me. I think that was when milk of magnesia was raining, you know. I was using that. And I didn't know this person's skin history. I didn't know how to operate on her skin. When she came to the studio, I confidently walked on her face. I gave in my all, to the best of my knowledge then. And I was certain that I had poured my all into that makeup for her. So it came as a surprise to me when she got home later in the evening, and I was even just trying to WhatsApp her to ask her how the shoot went, because it was a shoot, right? How the shoot went, and how did the makeup perform and everything. And the next thing, she's like, I don't like the makeup you did for me. She bombarded me with pictures almost immediately, as if she was just waiting, or she wanted to already do it before I even send that message. Just bombarded me with pictures. See, my face was cracking. It was even this one that I felt so bad. I felt really, really bad, because as much as it's a business for me, it is also a passion. I want people to come to my studio and have a lasting experience, an experience that they can go out and tell people that, okay, when you go to this place, you're going to have this kind of experience. That is what I always gone for. So somebody coming to my studio and then telling me that she didn't like the makeup I did for her, it was depressing for me. I think immediately after that report, the next day when I got to the studio, I threw away that milk of magnesia. Like, I pretty much carried it in front of my shop. I turned everything out and I threw away the can. And that was also what prompted me to go for an upgrade class. That's to tell you how bad that review was. That review was bad for me. That of course I welcome every kind of review, whatever it is. If it is a good review, I'm happy for that. If it's a bad review, I try to work on that. So that review coming played badly on my head, so I just had to look forward to go do an upgrade class, and I paid for that upgrade class. And that has been the best thing, that's the best decision that I took. Because in this makeup industry, one thing you need to know is that, in fact, in every facet of life, everything you're doing, whether you're a hairdresser, a makeup artist, a tailor, whatever it is you're doing, one thing you need to know is that upgrade is a must. There was once upon a time where you even notice with the way makeup is these days, the way people draw brow is not the same way people were drawing brow years ago. The way people wear blush is not the same way people were wearing blushes years ago. In fact, there was nothing called highlighter 5 years ago. There was nothing called bronzer 5 years ago. Things are evolving. People are looking for easier ways. People are looking for seamless ways. People are looking for ways that will bring maximum results. So you need to always upgrade yourself. You need to stay growing. You need to stay improving. You need to stay hungry. Always go for upgrade. If you like, after a while, you don't necessarily even need to need it, right? After a while of operating, maybe after a period of 6 months, pay money to someone you think is higher than you in the makeup industry to learn the new method of doing one or two things. And if you feel like you don't have that luxury, invest in research. It's at your fingertips these days. Various YouTube videos are giving all those tips. Read, research, learn new things, and practice. Practice, practice, practice. That's just it. So yeah, that helps me, and that helped my business too. Immediately after I went to upgrade my craft, I pretty much changed my makeup products to fit into my new upgrade. And of course, with all those upgrades, there's going to be upgrade in price too. And my pricing changed, and I lost some customers, I gained other customers, and yeah, it has been very beautiful. Now that we are here, I understand that a lot of persons have a pain point in terms of makeup. A lot of persons want to learn one or two things about makeup as my way of giving back to society and to give back to you, my beautiful family members. I have decided to teach you everything I know about makeup here. Like, there's not going to be any gatekeeping. If you have pressing questions, whatever it is that is bothering you in makeup, I am here to answer them. So from here on out, I'm going to be bringing different tutorials, different teachings, and all. The next video is going to be, we're going to do from parts of the face, parts of the brows. We're going to just go from there. So this is the point where you need to grab your paper, your biro, your makeup tools, because it's about to be lit on here, and I'm about to become your bestie. So if you are just stumbling on this channel for the very first time, do well to click on that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so I don't miss any of my posts, you don't miss any of my teachings. And yeah, like, share, and I'm going to see you in my next video.